Okay, I'm working on lining up the exhaust. I basically ordered a first gen exhaust system for this, and then I was just gonna kind of tweak it to make it work. So I got the down pipe just sitting on here for now. This too is not gonna be the turbo that I'm using. So I'm just kind of getting it lined up for now. This piece here, I have to be careful about because it's gonna be sitting really close to the cab. But right now I think I can clear it. And I also have a kind of a heat shield that I'm gonna put above this once we get it going here. But I'm gonna try to kind of finish lining everything else up here and seeing how well everything fits. I like the way it's looking so far. I just have to make sure it's gonna clear back here. This is gonna be the difficult part because of this contraption. All right, well, I really like the way that this is coming out back here, but I hate this diagonal in it. It looks really stupid, and I hate that it's that close to the drive shaft. So I have an idea on how to fix it. I think I'm gonna make a cut right here and then rotate that, and that should swing that around. Okay, that makes me feel a lot better. So all I did was, like I said, I cut this. So this can be re-welded, or actually I just was looking online, they make those nice little clamps, those sleeve clamps for exhaust pipes that I'm probably just gonna order that, and it'll clamp both of those together. Okay, so with my turbo, I need to weld in a new flange. This is the HX35, I believe, and this is the HX40, I think. So I need to weld that in place here. So I'm gonna use my Dremel right here to try to cut this out. Hopefully it goes well. I need to be just on the inside of this weld. So that wasn't too bad. There's the old piece there. So I ended up using my bigger grinder. It was faster, and basically I just cut all the way around on the weld. And this is close to fitting already, but I'm gonna get a little file, or maybe my Dremel, and just clean up that little edge there. And that way we can weld that in place. All right, so I'm gonna wait to actually weld this until I get my new turbo. This isn't the turbo that I'm using. So as you can see here, this doesn't fit perfect. So I wanna weld it exactly how this looks here if my new turbo is gonna hook up the same. So once I get my new turbo in, I will mock all this up, and then I'll tack weld it, and then we'll finish welding it. But that's the way this is gonna look for now. All right, we're gonna switch it up a little bit today and do a little bit of motor work. So I've got new injectors, so I need to pull this stuff off and replace the injectors. All right, so I'm having to pry these injectors out. I don't know if that's normal or not. But I wanted to show how I was doing that. But these injectors are very dirty. So I feel like I need to clean the insides of them out. Not sure how I would do that. All right, got all the old injectors out, got the portholes kind of cleaned up, and now we're gonna go ahead and install our new injectors. This is a stage 2 Dynamite diesel products. So really good reviews on these injectors, and I'm gonna give them a try for this project. I think their products seem to be pretty nice, but these look like they're built way nicer than my other ones. Even though the other ones were dirty, they just did not seem like real good quality injectors, and I can't remember what brand those were, a Ducky or something like that. So Dynamite diesel products right here. Okay, we finally got our turbo in the mail. Took a while, but we got it. Let's open this sucker up and see what she looks like. So this turbo is a lot smaller than my other one. My other one pretty large. And I didn't want that because I want to use this truck for towing. And I think before it was built for more like speed. So, wow. Those look nice and sharp. But that's my turbo. Let's go make sure that it fits on the exhaust manifold over here. Yeah, that should fit. Good deal. I was a little bit concerned about that, but I think that should fit. The exhaust system here, I have repainted and kind of re-welded and reformed some of the old Chevy exhaust brackets. And I kind of got it situated on how I want everything. So this is the exhaust, and this is going to be basically how it's going to look. And you can see where there's some hooks sticking out. So those are going to attach into these brackets over here that I have painted. All right, I got the muffler system installed. There's a bracket there I put in. So here's another bracket here I put in. There's a bracket. All these brackets I used from the old truck. And then I don't have any more brackets. I'm thinking about putting another one up here just in case, but this is pretty stout the way this holds on, so. It's awfully close down here. It's the only thing I'm worried about. I'm like an inch away from a bolt down there. And when the engine wobbles around, I'm hoping it don't hit. All right, I got my new fuel sending unit. This one is a little different than the one before. Sorry, trying to hold the camera. The one before actually had its own pump on it, but this is specifically just the sending unit here. And it's a resistance sending unit, so it's a 0 to 90 ohm. It uses this conductor right there, brass with ground. And you can see here where I put this fitting in, that's going to be my return. I opted for the 2 inlet sending unit, one for the vent and the other for the feed line. All of the return lines were not big enough, so I put in my own here. And I believe that's 5/16. So 3/8 feed, 5/16 return, and then I think it's a 5/16 vent as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a tube on the bottom of here, get it closer to the bottom of the tank, and then we're gonna install this right on top of our tank here. All right, so that's it. I put a little hose clamp down here just to keep it from floating up. Got one up there holding it on. So I'm ready to install this. This is the rubber ring that actually goes on first. Also, you can test the ohms on this. So basically you're gonna connect to these 2 conductors. Black on your meter goes over here to this ground right here. And then your other lead's gonna go there. And then as you move this floating device up and down, you should see differences in ohms. That's how you would check to see if yours is bad. My last one was bad, but I was gonna replace it anyway. So we're gonna put this down in here. This ground gets out of the way. It's in here just like this. So then there's a locking ring that actually goes on top. And as you turn that locking ring, it'll tighten down on this and put a good seal so nothing can get in there. So we're gonna go ahead and put that together, and then we'll finish running the rest of our fuel lines. So currently, I'm building a bracket for this, and it's over on the mill right now. I just welded it together. And now I'm gonna mill it down flat. I'll show you in just a second. But I'm gonna essentially put it right here. and it should hang down right here. Just past this, should still be able to get the filter off. Okay, so I have everything chucked up into the lathe. Essentially, that's gonna be screwed into the block back here. And I need to mill this flat where I've welded. And then we're going to put 2 more holes in here. I built my bracket here. And I have my fuel filter mounted. And I do have plenty of room here to take it off. And I went ahead and ran all my hoses here. So I got my hoses, my return, and my feed. There's a vent here too. Comes in here. And I just kind of reused some clamps I had laying around. Come all the way up. This is resting against right there. I might build a clamp to try to pull that away. It comes up. And it goes through my lift pump. Comes up through here. Comes into my filter. Comes out. And goes into the P pump. So I think that'll work out. This is going to be really close when I set the cab in. So I was going to originally come in this side and then come out, but I think that was going to be too close. So went ahead and came in here, came out right there. But you can see the cab over there. You know, let's see here. That's all that garbage right there is going to be really close to that side of the engine. So I think it'll work. If it doesn't, we'll tackle that once we get there. It's a little bit of trial and error here because I've never done a swap before, never done anything like this. So we'll just take care of that when we get there. So right now I'm just bleeding the fuel lines, putting fuel all the way basically to the injectors.